Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Good to
Good.
see you, man. Good to see you.
Good for a Wednesday.
Oh yeah. You're looking well. Jeez.
You too.
Oh, thanks, brother. Yeah, no, it's good, mate. It's good for a Wednesday, hump day today. So, we're on a downward slide to the weekend, and
Yep.
yeah, uh, so that's a good thing as well. So I get to go home tomorrow.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
yeah, I get to go home tomorrow, and I've got
Sorry,
two or
brother.
3 days, 2 or 3 days off or something like that. That'd be good.
Yeah, it's always good to have those couple of days off, isn't it? I
Oh,
know
absolutely.
ourselves, brother. We've been doing a bit of work in community, and it's it doesn't sound like much, but a couple hundred k's here, a couple hundred k's
Oh,
there, and a couple hundred k's back, and you get pretty tired, eh?
oh,
You know,
absolutely. Yeah.
working all day, um, and then having to drive as well. It just takes a little bit out of you. So
Well, it does take a little bit out of you, mate. I just drove in from Woorabinda into Mackay
yeah,
from
okay, yeah,
Rockhampton, so that's probably about 2.5 hours, I guess, drive.
yeah,
Yeah, and just logged
yeah,
in. So, but yeah. I got to acknowledge the Rumble people here in on the Rumble land, I guess, in Rockhampton. So I'm here for a little stay. Just snuck in for an overnight stay, and I'm heading out again in the morning. So I just need to acknowledge that. I'd like to say a big shout out to all my the Rumble friends here, the Rumble friends, and also the elders of this part of the world too, because it's important for me to do that, I guess. So I'm also going to shout out to back home to Yirinji people. I'll be back there on tonight. So I'm back in town on Thursday. So sorry, back there tomorrow night. So I'm back in town tomorrow. And also shout out to my family up in the Torres Straits, the Budigal people. So, but yeah, brother, yeah, no, it's good to be traveling around in old places. Back brings back a few memories. Some of the
yeah,
places we
yeah.
go to. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. How you going? How about you, bud?
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. Just we've got a special guest coming on. Our good brother boy Brendan Adams, and I think he's here. So I'll just see if we can bring him on. Here he is. There he is. Smileys. He's going to come on now. Look,
Hey, how you
Woo!
going? Mate?
here he is.
I'm I'm good, my brothers. Can you hear me?
Yes,
We
can
can
hear you
hear.
loud and clear. Loud and clear.
Oh, excellent.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, you can see I'm in my Broncos office.
Oh
So,
yes, I was going to say you're right on Bronco time as well, so that's good.
yeah, I won't say nothing there. But anyway, how are you, my brothers? It's been quite a while since I've seen you both together. Been quite busy, so it's really good to come back and have time with you again.
No, good on you, mate. Yeah,
Hey.
thank you for that. It's been a while, like you say, eh? So yes, must have been a lot happening though since we met. Just last saw you anyway.
Yeah, I think the last conversation I had, I think I might have been in Melbourne, if I remember
Yes.
correctly. Yeah, so now I'm back in Wilkenya, back in at the what I call my home now. Even though um, which we better do is show our love and respect. So, um, you know, I I'm proud Google Yulungi man, of course, from in Cape York, and that's my grandfather's country. And my grandmother's is Popabara, which is the Great Keppel Islands. But I'm here living in the Barkagee Nations. Been here for 23 years, except for that little stint in Melbourne. So I'm glad I'm actually back home with my mom.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Beautiful, brother. Beautiful.
yeah,
Yeah,
no,
man.
good,
And
mate. Yeah.
yeah, I just want to welcome you back on here too, brother, because we always have a beautiful yarn. And I know some of the stuff that you've been going through, so it hasn't been um, all happy stuff. So
Mm.
tell us a little bit. But before we do, I just want to also acknowledge the traditional custodians where we all walk into play and just pay the utmost respects to all our old people, our ancestors, our elders, and everyone else as well. So, and I just want to acknowledge my mob, the Muddy Muddy people as well. So, over to you, brother, and tell us a little bit about what's been going on and what's coming up. And you know the deal, brother. You've been on here a few times, so
Yeah,
fire away.
Yeah, it's yeah. So coming back to Kenya was a big decision for me because apart from missing the family and the mob, the one thing I love, which I found a great experience in Melbourne, is the different atmosphere and loved the city, loved the life. It was so fast, so fast. I can't even believe how many restaurants I went to. It's unbelievable. I think that's why I've got the photo from here up. You don't want to see what's down there at the moment. But yeah, just going back to country life and the outback style was I missed a lot. So coming back, I actually took on a role that I was very familiar with, even though it wasn't an official role, is community liaison officer. So I work with the local police now. Now, the community liaison officer's primary role is, of course, looking after our people, especially when they've been arrested, or they've got to attend court. So our main role is to be very supportive, advising them, helping them through whatever resources we can provide for them. But this role also is been really good for me because I actually can expand and do what I love doing is community engagement, um, doing projects, which I'm really proud to talk to tell you one of the projects that you were aware of. The we call Brothers by the Parker is now officially active, and God, it's been wonderful with that. And I've got a very funny story to tell you with that one. But yeah, so it's we're doing holiday programs. We're trying to find quality programs or create quality programs with crime prevention for our youth because we're here now to do our part to help them for the next 20, 30, 50 years and onwards.
Well, congratulations, first of all, mate. Well done. In a really good role. Got a really, sounds like that role was made for you, brother.
Oh, it's definitely suited me. I've had done similar things while when I wasn't employed. I was always there for our our men and youth in particular, but of course for everyone. To be a supportive role. So I was a support person when they were in custody. I was also engaging in trying to um, find healing programs or support programs for our men to, in particular, to grow and reclaim their identity, especially, when they're coming in and out of incarceration. You're targeted, you're labelled, um, especially in remote communities. There is not enough support and resources because being remote, your resources have got to be like 300, 400 kilometres away. So when our men need need that support or that help or assistance straight away, we have to count on each other, count on ourselves to step up and be there. So it's been something that I've loved done. Is the only thing that I do is I get a bit of moolah for it now. So I get paid for the job.
Yes.
And you love it, brother.
That
You
makes
love
it
it.
worthwhile too, brother.
And I know,
Yeah.
I just want to jump in there too, because I know what an amazing job you and the other acolytes are doing as well, and how much you guys are relied on, and just what a wonderful job you do to bring community together, brother. And I know there's been a lot of sorry business there as well. So our hearts go out to everyone there and who's been through sorry business, and yeah, just our love and respect go out to everyone there. But you have had some fantastic stuff going on as well, so we want to celebrate that as well, brother.
Yeah, and that's it. It's actually the time of when we do go through a lot of grief and loss. It's the time when recently, if people have been following the news, there was a huge inquest about a young lady who was very close to everyone's heart in Kenya, and unfortunately, we lost her. I think it was in 2022 through a very unforeseen death, and people have need a lot of answers about what happened to this young lady. So in the last couple of weeks, we had a huge increase, and you know that's the time when we really have to be strong for each other, resilient. And I will also acknowledge the other accolades that we have. Um, just to give you a fair idea, we've got 6 accolades in the barrier PD, but that doesn't mean we're all in the one spot. I myself and Ike Williams, which you met my brother. Um, we look after Kenya, Ivanhoe, Menindee, so there's a space of like 400, 500 kilometres radius with that one. We got a couple of that are in Broken Hill. They look after that section there. And then, of course, down close to Mildura, a place called Durton, we have 2 accolades there. And they've got a very similar thing where they look after 4 or 5 communities. So it is a really high pressure job. There's a lot of expectations from us to deliver within all those communities. But the one thing, like you're saying, is that we love bringing something together really positive. Brothers by the Buck is one of my proudest, our proudest project, because even though we instigated, it came from the community. This was their idea. This is exactly what they needed. And, for us as ACLOs to say that we would deliver it, we will bring it together with them and all that, and they lead the way. That's a really proud moment, because it just shows, that our role as ACLO isn't just this tunnel vision way of looking. We will jump out and we'll go this way to help the men and the families. We're doing holiday programs ourselves, which is a good challenge there. We're aiming to get Bush Tucker Bungee and a few footballers in April to come to the party and everything. Just spoke to Deadly Uncle Roger Knox. He's gonna come. He's aiming to come in July, but also at Christmas for uplifting spirits and a concert. And us to say that we can deliver that, led by the community. It's just a wonderful moment, proud. But at the same time, we still do our primary role in looking after our youth in crime, and looking at how we can help them become stronger.
Yeah, well done, brother. I just want to ask you a question. I mean, you're there for community. It's not just a 9 to 5 position. We all know how that goes. But what I want to know, and CJ and I actually talk about this a lot, but it's about what do you do for yourself and the other ACLOs do for themselves to be able to reground, reinvigorate, and keep going and doing what you do, because you see you are doing amazing stuff, but you see some horrible stuff as well. So yeah, just if you can just tell us a little bit about some of the ways that you look after yourself, brother.
Well, that's really deadly and important question, my brother. You're exactly right. Some of the stuff we've seen, and that we actually have to intervene. We intervene with domestic violence. It's sometimes at a low level. It's never acceptable, no matter what level. And then we've seen it at the extreme. And unfortunately, we're also going to be there to support people when we lose someone special. And sometimes that loss isn't pretty. So we go through a lot of our own mental health. And the thing that I think that I could speak about, nearly all ACLOs will have a very similar thing, but where we are in the far west, is that we've got a strong support unit, and I will say this, and I can say from where I come from, the local the local police here, they are very strong in supporting us. They know how important our role is. They know that our role is very difficult because we are the link between community and police. We are the mediators. So when there's issues and we actually have to do our role, it does a lot of damage. So we've got community that yells at us. Oh, you're supposed to be here for us, but we're employed by police, and so the police recognise it. So they also support us. And I remember there was a bit of domestic that happened in our community, and it was really close to me because I know everyone. They're all, we're all family. So when we have to intervene, it really takes a toll on us. So I've had the police go, brother, you got to go home. You rest, and they acknowledge it. He's amazing. We're two different personalities. I'm a program man. He's community minded. So we lean on each other when we know that someone needs to rest, and he picks up the slack. Like I'm on holidays now, which I didn't ask. I was forced to, which is why they do these things, is because they know we need to rest. We got to take time out and all that. But while we're doing it, not just Ike that's next who lives in the same community, but the other acolytes all in the other communities, they ring us up and they say, how you going? Looking after yourself, and then when you kind of don't answer, they're jumping on you. Get home, right? And I said, well, you're the one ringing me, what's wrong with you? So we have a really great relationship, and it's that blackfella relationship too, which makes it even better because they know how to support you and sink the boot in at the same time, so it makes your day.
Hey, brother, can I ask you? So you're on holidays at the moment. What does a typical day on holidays look like for Brendan Adams?
I go to the office. No way. I've actually done something different. I've got my computers here and all that because I do a lot of programs, and I've been here for 23 years. So in all my different roles, from radio, from being manager in different fields and everything, I've accumulated over 10,000 photos in all of that. And I've sat back and I've gone, oh, crikey, it's time to clean the computer up. And so all day, apart from a couple of meetings I had to go to, for my sake, I started looking at the photos, looking at some beautiful memories, things that I forgot that I was a part of. And then it occurred to me, and I said, you know what, I shouldn't be just sharing this. So I've done a whole heap of photos to the community, showing them memories from back in 2003 when I first came here, up till today, which involved, junior football, senior football, nations of origin. I saw photos when we had some men's group. I got a couple of photos with my first trip with you guys up in what's that place that
Boona?
place?
Boona.
Boona, that's the one, my brother. Got some photos where I've took some players to the Roosters in parks, and the great and wonderful Artie Beats, and Uncle Artie there. He saw me there in parks, and what was funny was he kind of said, "You want to meet the Roosters and all that?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "How many you got?" And I said, "That I had about 20, about 15 to 20 there." And he just made a phone call and he said, "Go to the motel." And we went there, and half the Rooster players were still got their towels on, and all the kids went running, and especially the girls. And that took me back to memories. We had one fella there, black boy. his name is, and he was the quickest in Wilkenya. Yeah, well, he claims, and he was there. The first thing he did, he spotted Chris Walker. This was, I think, in 2006, if I remember correctly. Chris Walker and Amos Roberts when they were playing for Roosters, and the first thing he did, he challenged him a 100-meter sprint. You know, and not only he challenged him to the sprint, like they're getting ready for the game for the day, but not only did that, he challenged him that if he wins, he gets their shorts and boots. You know, so and so today was like sharing that on Facebook, and the moment I put it on Facebook, I saw a lot of people reacting to it. Some of them kids are, adults, family, and they're just saying, thank you, I forgot about this, or I remember this. And yeah, unfortunately, I couldn't share. I mean, I've got lots more to share, but I've got to be careful because I want to make sure that the ones I share are appropriate. Don't want to see them when we're like this, laid out.
Brother, we had with a couple of good mates of yours that I've spoken to recently. We had Charlie Fay on last week on here. He said to say g'day. Another good mate of yours, Jason Sandy, I had a good yarn with, said to say g'day.
Oh,
so they're all thinking of you, brother, and what you're doing in Wilkenya and the amazing work that you are doing. We've got a couple of people here that got a few comments there. So Francis White said, hi, everyone. Hello, Fran. How are you? Stephen Simpson said, so true, brothers. And then he said, we all need support, regardless of our position in community, all community connections. So hard working on country, sometimes you can't switch off, and that's so true as well. And you know yourself, brother, that I've seen you a couple of times and you've been down and out, but you always seem to bounce back, brother. So
yeah. And and hello to all my brothers and sisters out there. First off, but brother Stephen there, he said it's the biggest thing I think I love about who we are as people, regardless of what job you have, how much you get paid, or that we take our job really strong and personal. Because we invest we don't just invest in our community, we invest into people, but more importantly, persons. So I remember that I had an argument with one brother one day, and really big argument. You're doing this, you don't do this for me and everything. And 2 days later, he's ringing out, brother, can you help me with this? And I felt like that. But like you said, you don't switch off. That brother, at the time, they need, they got frustration. They need to voice out, the challenges they're going, and they have that expectation from us as maybe, regarded as community leaders or someone they can just lean onto. And your brother, exactly, he said it, Stephen, we can never switch off, but we have to find a way to find that quality time by yourself, because as you said, I've been down, and the only way I can look for is a bit of peace is that you got to find your sanctuary. And I've got two places I go to in Wilkenya. One is the river. I'm from the rainforest country, so water is so important. Even I've used the bathtub when I couldn't get out. Just fill the bath up. You just lay in that bathtub. You just imagine it being the Ross River in Townsville, which is not really that good, but still my river. And you just imagine you're just in a natural space, and that cleans your head, that cleans your spirits and everything. And the other place is, I'm an old fella now, and it hurts me when I go there, but it's still my sanctuary. It's the footy oval. You sit there. Now I got to imagine how I can score a try. And all that.
What's those hammies, brother?
Yeah, I know. I fell twice to watching myself, So Yeah, so, but that's that thing. You cannot switch off, but you've got to find that peace somewhere along the line, because I was burnt out at one stage where I was so suicidal. I was so at self harm, and if it wasn't for a brother who reached out to me to go to Melbourne, it's not about just yeah. Just to get away, just for that rest, but he helped me by making sure that when I left for Melbourne, I had a job, I had a support system. But it was funny because he knows I love my radio and my music, and that's always been a big part of my life. He was hoping that I would stick there, but like I said, city life wasn't the thing. It did save me. I was so grateful that I have brothers and that, and you two guys will always been there for me. Or you ring me up just to see how I am. That's how we can forge forward, and no matter how big the pain you're hanging on to, because you're not hanging on to your pain, you're hanging on to your family's pain, your sister's pain, your brother's pain, your nephews, and your and any other person that's in your life. You hold their pain, because that's what they need from you, is be that strength. And while you're doing it, your inside is just tearing apart. And if we never have each other, if we don't have each other just to say, there you go, brother, we will never survive. And big respects to Brother Stephen, and know and understand that.
Absolutely, brother. Yeah. And, you do. We need to, at times take a bit of a break and try to switch off, but sometimes that's impossible, brother, like you say. But the other thing I was thinking about when you were talking is that, there are times when we have to work 10 times harder than anyone else, because, just to gain that, not so much to gain that respect, but just to get the work done, because, we're well and truly behind in a lot of things. And we need to make sure we, keep on top of things. So the trouble with it is, Brendan, is that when we do have that break, no one comes in to take over. You know what I mean? And that you can't really not forget that. You know what I mean? You're always on edge because you're wondering how things are going, because you're not there, all that stuff. Because you kind of have that passion. We really have that, really have that obligation to work with community.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And make sure it works.
Yeah. And another thing I also always express to all my brothers, and it doesn't matter what challenges and battles you have on every day, but is exactly when you wake up the next day, you are surviving. You are, and I want every brother and sister, the first thing you do, and I had to learn this the hard way, because I wasn't looking at myself strong enough, and I look in the mirror, and it's not ego. It's about loving who you are and why you are on this planet, why we are in our country, to say, what, I'm proud of you and all that. And the thing that we also fail to do, and once again, it doesn't matter how big or small these achievements are, is that every time we achieve, we are so humble. We don't celebrate ourselves. I find it's really kind of it breaks my wow, my spirit, that we actually talk about someone's legacy at the wrong time. We talk about people's legacy at a funeral. When you achieve it, when you see a brother achieve it, you acknowledge him now. He acknowledges himself. I got past this. Brothers and sisters are going through drugs and alcohols every single day, but when they wake up and they find a reason that they will move forward, celebrate it, because you know what? That's why we are strong. We are the oldest living culture. But the one thing is that we are connected, and that's why we have to show. Once again, it is staying humble, but you just need to celebrate yourself, because we are the pillar of what our culture is. We are the oldest living culture, and that's because of this here, our wawu, our spirits, makes us survive every day.
Well said, brother. Well said. Now, I just want to ask you a question. How important is it for you to have that that network around you to be able to have a yarn when you're not feeling your best, or is it important for you to have that number of different people that you can have different yarns to at different times?
Yes, it is, and it is so important. And the thing is that with today's technology, you can reach out to the furthest brother in the furthest part of the country, and it's like what we are now. We are on on online, but it's like sitting in the room together. And that we are having that that talk or that support. And it's really exciting that that we actually have a large number of brothers out there and sisters that can support you. Because sometimes, like going back to what Brother Stephen was saying, in your own community, there's so much expectation and high level people sort of like need our strength, that you have to reach out further than just this community. I'm so blessed that I actually have strong families. I've got my kids are always my pillar of strength. I've got a son who's 11 years old. I better get it right. 13, you'll smack me. 13 years of age. You know what? The one thing he says after every conversation, he says, "I love you, Dad."
Yeah. Beautiful.
There's never a moment. I mean, if I have 5 conversations, I'm going to hear it 5 times with him. He doesn't have to say it once a day. This is that support, and as you said, so when you don't even have to have advice from someone, hearing that someone appreciates you and they love you, that gets you through it. Like you brothers, every week you are committed, just going online. You're reaching out to hundreds of our family mob out there. And you know what? I know I always put you on a big pedestal. You deserve to be there, both of you. But I told you this once, and I would never forget it. You saved my life back in the early 2000s. And when I first connected with Minbin Ba, I remember all the brothers there, some of the games we played, the way I connected. I reach out to him like Jason Sandy, But Jason Sandy and we've been connected for a very long time. But when I saw him in Alice Springs that time, that just lights my world up. He thought he was a better dancer, but you're not, Jason. So don't even try. And it's really important knowing that you have got a large number of support out there. And like I said, if it wasn't for very moments in my life, no matter how people think I am strong, I would never got through it if I never had you guys, if I didn't have some of my families and brothers and sisters out there to help me. I'll end it with this one. There's a guy called Roger Wyman. He's a brother that's asked for a lot of help from me. He's asked for a lot of loans. Still waiting for that money to come back, but I love you, bro. I remember that I was in a very bad place, and he said to me, "Brother, I can't give you advice because you're the one giving me advice. But all I will do is I'll give you my home." How there's nothing in the world that says anything bigger than something like that, eh? And and that's how I get through with my challenges.
Yeah, definitely, brother. Yeah. No, thanks, mate. That was beautiful what you just said, and yeah, definitely. I think it's that gratitude that you do. Everyone, we all need to practice that gratitude, because it's like you say, it's too late sometimes. We need to kind of tell people how we feel about them, whilst we're talking to them, and not holding that back, and not really, because what it does, it gives that other person such a big rush. You know what I mean? It gives them such a rush that you've given them a compliment, and to know that that's how you feel about them. That type of stuff. So absolutely, mate, I agree with you that. I'm just going to read. There's a couple of comments on here. Stephen Simpson. He says he's going to be in Cairns. Steve, I'm not going to be in Cairns next week. I'm up at the Tiwi Islands up in the Territory. So I'll be away for next week. Joseph Uwe, how are you, Joe?
Hello, brother Joseph.
Yeah, he says, same. I've never been through. I've been through some old photos on the hard drive and found some amazing photos of Mob, and seeing them now as adults tells a personal story and interaction. So he's been having a look at some old photos. Stephen Sampson said, "Miss this type of conversation in my work, all about politics and ego. I need to get back to basics," he said. Got to get a report done, brother. I'll try and connect again. He said, Jack and CJ rock. Jackie Bates, how are you, Jackie? All the way from the United States, said that good morning, all. Such a good conversation.
Over in Canada, and it's 1:30 in the morning over there, so 2 o'clock now.
Good morning, Jackie.
Good morning, Sister Jackie.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you for your kind comment. Such a great conversation that I hear over here as well. Our men are definition and epitome of love.
Joseph.
The definition and the epitome of love. He says that's from Joseph. Thanks, Joseph. Yeah, brother. Yeah, we appreciate your comments, mate. And absolutely, and I think that gone are those days where we're tough and rumble, mate. You know what I mean? Where we don't express our emotions and tell people, how much we love them. So I think that's happening a lot more these days, and we encourage it. We encourage
and
that.
you know what probably annoys me? I mean, we get to, get around the country a bit and work with our mobs all over. And what annoys me is when people say our men won't talk or won't say anything, and we just say we don't see that. Like if there's a safe space for our fellas, they open up, they talk about what they need to talk, they talk about their concerns, they talk about their issues, but the most important thing is they got the solutions as well.
Yes,
and it makes my heart wild when I hear that. But I know that with the work that we all do in community, that it's not true. That our fellas do yarn, they do talk, and they will. They talk about love. They talk about unconditional love. So they talk about hugs. They talk about all this stuff, and we know that. But a lot of people don't get to see that. So
and that's how we come up with programs, brother. We don't think of the programs. Our community thinks of these
100%.
These programs. So they're the ones talking to us. I'm very humble and honored. They see me as a leader, but I don't see me in that fashion, because these are the leaders. These guys are the ones reaching out, talking to me. I'm sort of like this doorway where I open it up and find ways of them men to walk through. But before they walk through that door, they're the ones that's reaching out and say, brother, one example, this is why we got our Brothers by the Barker happening, was this gentleman. He was in and out of incarceration during his time. He lost his daughter. His son, unfortunately, was ended up on the very hard drugs, and he had a grandchild that didn't even know him, and all that. So he came out of incarceration, came straight into our home, and he was targeted. He was labelled. During this time, there was all those stories about domestic violence, and men were the perpetrators. So he actually came home where there was just too much anger and too much at him, and he ignored everything. He said, he said, let's find a way we'll get all of our men together, and we are going to share each other. We're going to share what we need to do. And like you said, Brother Jack, is we have our own solutions. And
100%.
and they thought of it, and they even got their stages. They knew their stages. Heal ourselves, stage 1. stage 2 is I want to be a mentor. So the brothers and sisters that are coming in incarceration, they're not going to talk about how hard it is in jail. They're talking about what you lose in jail. You lose your family, you lose your kids, you lose your time, because time is so precious and small. And then they say, what's our next step? Is that we're going to be a better family. And and the one thing that we also must aim for, and like I said, have the solution, is tear away all these negative signs that are being thrown at us. Men are perpetrators. Men are not just men know that they have done wrong, but they say, you know what? I don't want to hear that it's wrong for domestic violence. What they want is say, I want to be a better person. Put those negative, all that anger, it's turn around and say, all right, let's aim at being strong and positive. We need help. We need resources. And that's why they come up with their programs. They come up with the ideas. And I that's why I think I love my role, because I'm just very lucky that I have good network, like you guys and others that help me put it together, or we put it together.
I'm going to have to jump in there, brother. I mean, there's a couple of things there. You say you're not a leader. Look, it doesn't matter, because you lead in the best possible way, and that's about having an inclusive space where there's no exclusions, there's no judgment, there's no anything like that. That's why you're a great leader, brother, and that's why people come to you and people are drawn to you as well. So, I'm one of your biggest fans, brother. But I speak to many other people that know you as well, and they're your biggest fans as well. So, it is, you're a very humble man, and there's, like Stephen talked about it before, there's ego in his workplace. There's no ego from where you come from, and that's what makes it such a beautiful honour to know you and to be able to work with you, brother. So.
Thank you, brother. I should have worn shades now, because I was trying to hide the tears, you bastard, and all that. You done me,
too deadly, brother. You're just too deadly, and I second that, what JB just said. So, brother, I know we're all humble when we get to that point, but we also don't think we're leaders as well. But we believe that what we do is empower the community to be leaders themselves, So you've given people space to be leaders, really, even though we don't think we're leaders. So now stop that.
And you do it in the best possible way, brother. I mean, that's that inclusive space that you're able to create, to be able to make other people feel at home, feel safe in having those conversations that they probably wouldn't have with anyone else, brother. So, and as Joseph just said, we're all heart people, and that's exactly what we are. And CJ and I spoke a lot about this, about over COVID, because we all work from that heart space, from that love space, and during COVID it got taken away from us. So there was so much fear that was taken over from our heart space that we're only just getting back to that now. So look, brother, take the time out to pat yourself on the back, and you're such a remarkable and extraordinary fellow, brother. So I love you dearly, mate. So yeah.
Help me pay for my teeth. That would make me feel better. But no, thank you, my brothers. And I know there's so many support people out there. Like I said, there's been times when I just have to reach out to someone. And actually, the other thing that I find amazing is there's been times when you have been down, people see it and they don't sit there and wait for me to reach out. They reach in. You reach in. You know when you can feel that moment when someone is down, and the first thing you do, you step up and you come in and you get involved in their lives just to make sure. So it's not just reaching out that helps us. It's brothers and sisters that reach in, makes a big difference as well. And
Yeah.
thank you for your lovely comments and everything, and I do appreciate. I do love and celebrate myself, who I am, and everything, and all that. But as I said, it's a never ending day that you've just got to keep on going. And yeah, I don't know. It's hard to explain how I feel about myself. It's just that I think what I said at the beginning is that when I get to wake up the next day, I get to know I'm gonna do something good, and I think that's what makes me feel that a proud as a proud Aboriginal man, that I've taken the path, a choice to be there as much as for everyone as well as much for myself. And I think that's yeah, I don't know. I know what I'm saying. I think you know what I'm saying. It's hard, because you've got to be careful because you can get struck by lightning, from your grandfathers. Yeah.
Hey, Brendan, Joseph also said earlier, he said, I'm glad to hear that. Love that. Stages of healing, measured and understood and community driven, So he's just mentioned that there, Joseph. Yeah. So, yeah, mate, appreciate everything you do, brother. We're always, astounded by the things that happen in your life and things that you get up to. It's really great news. And, we all should take a feather out of your cap. I think, it's really important that, we wake up in the morning. What am I going to do today? I'm alive. I want to do something good, If you can get up saying that, so I want to do something good. I want to make someone's day. I want to, keep everyone happy and be happy about that. You know what I mean? It's all about, getting up and having a great day, one day at a time.
Yeah.
So day at a time as well.
No, that's exactly, my brother, and all that. I should have said too, like, when we always talk about a mob, there are so many different people there. The mob, like, I today, I don't know. Yeah, you can see I got a couple of band-aids, because when we're talking about looking after ourselves, we talk about looking after ourselves, mentally and all that, but also there's that physical aspects. And I had a sister who's a nurse, and I was so full on with work, and I had no one to blame but myself, that I missed out on 4 months on going to the hospital, checking myself out for my diabetes. I got type 2 diabetes, and I got a phone call today, more or less, get your ass up here, boy. You're doing all this work. I haven't seen you, coming to the hospital, checking you, check your health out. And I said, I said, Arnie, I'm a bit busy, and I think it would have been in about, space of 4 minutes. The healthcare car comes up and drags me in there. So Arnie was out there to force herself to make sure that I'm looking after my health physically as well. So, when we was talking about looking after yourself, we there were so many parts, your inner self, your outer self, and like I said, it was a nurse, not doing it. It's not just her doing a job, but she's like, you get out, you get up here, boy, now, and I think, shit, I can't argue with that.
And see, what you did was give her the wrong answer, brother.
I know, yeah, I'll pay that price, and the hardest thing about Kenya, you can't hide much. We've only got 12. We've only got 12 streets, so you're done, So but that's what I love about Kenya. People had this stereotype view about it being a wild place, but I said it from the beginning. I first landed here. If you're honest and you're true to them, they'll be honest and true back to you. And I mean, I've been accepted as a president of the Wilkenya Men's Group. I'm not Barkagee. You're not for Wilkenya, but for them to identify, acknowledge you to be their voice, it's such an honor. And that's what I say. This place it's got its own heart. It's so true, and all of our communities are there, and that's what people have got to listen to. Listen to the honesty that community has, and you you'll go a long way with it.
Yeah, absolutely, brother. Yeah, you go a long way with it, right? And just look, anyway, I've just come back from Woorabinda, brother, and they got their things. They got some things happening out there, but it's all about this love stuff, brother. We really need to start to love ourselves, not only, and love our people with us. So I think that in terms of community out there, they, like you say, they've got their own solutions. They've got some young ones coming through there that know what to do. You know what I mean? But their battle is convincing others that are in power there to be able to do those things. So all they need is a bit of encouragement and away they go. But hopefully that's happening. That's happening right as we speak. So, but small towns like that, Woori, Cherbourg, those communities that had the missions on there, there are people there that are actually. It was interesting because I met a lot of people that know a lot of people that I know.
Yeah,
which was quite interesting.
Yeah, well, actually, talking about that, I know this is going off beat, but their brother Joseph Uwe, I wanted to know if your brother lives in Townsville and if you're related to a brother called Robbie Uwe, maybe uncle or something. He was in my younger days. When I was living in Townsville up there, we ended up starting up the first Aboriginal nightclub in Queensland. Well, official nightclub we call it the Murray Club. And old Robbie Uwe, he was our bouncer when I was the DJ. And Brother Joseph, if you want some funny gossip, bro, you call me up. I can tell you a lot of stories. Older cousin, brother. Yeah. Yeah, got some really funny stories about him being in the and it's just, like you said, CJ, it's amazing how many people know each other.
And the thing too, absolutely. Like Joseph does amazing work in communities too. Like the work that he does with our fellows is just amazing work. So, he's always there. There's no ego about it. Again, he's just one of those champions that actually works in community and just gets on with it. And as I said, the work that he does with our fellows is just amazing. So. We'll have to get him on too. Joseph, you have to come on and come with us.
I'm just going to say that, brother. Yeah. You got an open invitation, Joseph. You can jump on a Wednesday night. That would be great to talk to you. Actually, I don't know how related we are, but my cousin there, Billo, Uncle Bill, he's old Cairns boy that we used to knock around with a long time ago, but he lives on the Gold Coast there. So I'm sure he's obviously you can't. It got to be related if you've got that last name. So,
yeah. So, no, it's it's wonderful knowing not just for me in Wilkenya, but you guys and Brother Joseph there, and like even I think Sister Jackie, jumping on, from all the way from Canada, 1 o'clock in the morning. That's outstanding. That just shows you the pillar of love and strength. And I think that the comment that Jackie said was, having that conversation happening in their country as well, just shows you how strong our mob are, no matter if you're First Nations here, First Nations in Canada, or whoever, that we all got that pillar of strength and love within ourselves.
Yeah. It certainly is, brother. Yeah. And look, I think it's weird at the moment. We won't talk about that, but I know that we all got to stand up for our mob. We've all got to stand up for them. We've got to do whatever we can to get them to, make those decisions. Give them the opportunity to do whatever they need to do to help their own community. So, but I know that Jackie's too close to the United States for my liking. I just going a bit silly over there. I'm glad we're here.
Well, having said that, though, brother, we got a bit of a clown that's trying to be Prime Minister, trying to get in. I'm going to say his name, Peter Dutton. I reckon he's probably the biggest dud and biggest clown going around. So I'll put it out there. So
Well, mate. No. I probably agree with you there, brother. But we got to. Doesn't matter who's in. Doesn't matter if bloody what's her face, fish and chip woman.
Oh, yeah.
She gets in. We've got to keep doing what we're doing.
Oh, definitely.
You know, we just got to keep.
I don't think that's ever going to change. I mean, like especially for everyone that's on here watching and many other people as well. I don't think that's going to change. I mean, CJ, we spoke about it in 2023 when the referendum was on, and it doesn't change anything for everyone that's working in community. You still got work to do. So whether it was a yes was a win or a no was a win, we were all gonna still be doing our stuff and and loving it and with so much passion. And I think that's the thing that I really love seeing is our mobs working with so much passion and so much love and it does go along. They say you can't do it with passion alone, but geez, it goes a long way to helping improve people's lives. So
yeah,
definitely.
Passion's the driving force behind a lot of it. And what's behind that passion? It's that love, it's that spirit, that strength. It all becomes this large avalanche snowball. But the snowball is isn't in destruction. It's just beauty that that we have instead. I don't know if that was the right analogy, using a snowball.
It definitely was, brother.
But exactly. It's it just grows bigger and bigger. Passion, love, strength. Your identity. Your spirit.
Connection, brother. Connection.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah, connection.
Anywhere we go in this country, we've got a connection with someone. Really.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing that who else does that. Probably other indigenous groups in other parts of the world, but not in this country. No one else in this country's got those connections like we do.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. So I just want to thank you for coming on tonight, Brother Brendan, and sharing a little bit more of what you do. And again, we know how passionate you are and how what a leader you are in community. So we just want to say thank you. I'll see you in a few weeks anyway down in Wilcannia.
Yes, and don't forget we're coming up to Emu Plains too. Up that way too.
Good.
That's right.
Yeah.
I've already got my bags packed here at the back. Got quite a few of these loaded in the suitcase.
You'll have to bring a couple of those Broncos tops up, brother.
Brother, I'm bringing them all up. I even got Broncos undies. Jolly just saying.
I don't really want to see them, brother.
I know, but no.
You can keep them.
From the bottom of our hearts, brother, thank you, and we love you, and keep doing what you're doing, brother.
Yeah, amazing, brother. Amazing, awesome.
Thank you, my brothers, and thank you for all the listeners out there, all the brothers and sisters out there. Yeah, it's great that just seeing the comments made, and I'm very humble and respectful that you joined this conversation.
Beautiful, brother. Thanks, man.
All right.
Love you.
Love you both.
Love you, brother.
Love everyone.
Right.
Yeah.